Docking request accepted.
Good morning, New Eden. Today is August 17th. Holy shit, I lost the date. August 17th, 2025, and this is the Federation Frontline Report. And I don't know why the Discord video was blocked there, but we are here, Sarah. We're here. We're visible. How's it going? I'm your host, Frozen Fallout, and my co-hosts are Samson.
Good morning, New Eden. It is actually August 18th for me because I have come from the future.
You are Future Man. And we also have Night Flyer, who is in the proper time zone. How's it going?
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
The proper time zone. I'm out of sync.
You are out? Yeah. Dude.
Ever since my last time travel when I came back, I was out of sync.
You're so out of sync that it's not even the new day in Eve yet.
I'm lagging so hard.
Yeah, you're in the future of Eve too. So,
What are you, like -11 or something? Weird.
For me, it is 7:16 a.m. on the 18th.
So weird.
It is
time
weird.
zones are so like, I mean, it makes sense, but it also is you know. I'm in
the time zones with Sully and Neptune.
Good. I think Saber Jaguar's over there too.
Yes, and Saber. Yes, Saber. Fuck yeah,
Saber.
True.
Yeah, love those guys.
They're like one. I think they're like sandwiching me time zone wise. I think. So you got the Aussies, and then the Philippines are like on either side.
Awesome. So today we're going to go over the Galmil Warzone review. So basically we're just going to kind of take a look at how things are going. And it has been pretty epic as of late. So I'm gonna squish us down so that we are a little smaller so we can kind of take a look at this beautiful map. If I could click on the right things, and then there we go. Now I make us smaller.
Clicky.
Look, we're tiny now. And so let's take a look at this Warzone, though. This is some crazy like pushes that are happening right now. All of the south is conquered. Like, there's nothing really. I would say that the southern border is like right about here. You know, there's a little bit. This I would consider, or not border. Like the southern is actually like just this area over here.
Real quick, Frozen and Nightflyer, are you even able to access chat on Federation Frontline Report? Because I don't even see chat. I can't even access chat right now.
Oh, really? I can.
Yeah, there's no chat for me. You banned me. I've been banned. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
Try refreshing.
I'll try it again. Refreshing. I tried turning it off and on again. Oh, wait. There it is. Okay.
Okay.
It was being weird.
Magic.
All right.
So, but yeah,
I got my mod.
I'm like Old Man Star, Hades, Fleet, Devon, Negamenon, Hazmajala, Hysteria. So even Hysteria is under our control right now, and under pretty decent control at 56% contested. We've owned this area for a while now. I mean, from my understanding is that the Keldari have retreated north. They're kind of hanging out in Avonin these days. The battle is more over like Akadagi area, which they are holding Akadagi pretty well, and they are putting pressure on Nenameli at 70% and Enoluri at 51% right now. There is a push that is coming from High-Sec, so one of the things that they have that's really nice for them is that they have, not too far from Jidda is their caster, or not caster, a new gateway that if they own Athenin and Cimmerian, that they have the ability to come in the back route now, which this used to be a little bit more safe. But now that this is an event that happened many years ago. Well, I mean, from like the incursion of the of the Keldari. But when they got that gate operational and they made it so that they only have that connection from their high sec, and they've got Jitta, so they're pushing in. It looks like they've made it all the way to Rashard here. There is a battlefield going on in Ardenern, and El Perena is pretty solid right now at 7% contested. So most of the battles, though, most of the stuff is happening over here in Akadagi. Akadagi is a central point, as we have the Galente staging out of Hallinan and the Keldari staging out of Vonin. I also know that there is some fighting that is happening up here in OICX. But every time that I've gone up here to EHA in OICX, I never see anybody. But they have the ability to come, use EHA and Avonin in order to kind of control this area, this back. I don't know if they live and what goes on back here, but I wonder.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever been up there in faction warfare.
I mean, I did way back in the day. We would fuck around everywhere because there wasn't lines, but.
I want to do a video about how people pronounce every single system differently. OICX, OICX.
OICX. You just call it OICX. You can call it OIX, but it just
yoinks.
It just rolls roinks off the kittens.
Oh, they're awake.
My puppy is
so fluffy. There's a fluffy tail.
I got kids. So.
You've got kids.
And I don't let them in this room.
Yeah, don't let them in. My other big
office. I don't let them on the couch.
My office isn't set up yet, but this is a big boy.
Yeah, it is unfortunate. The Federation Frontline lives out of Hades, so it is now a journey. It's like 10 jumps.
To get somewhere where there's action.
Yeah, I mean, you could go up by Tama, which is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps. You can kind of go over to Hysteria. There's some fighting that kind of happens over here. There is still fighting that's happening in the south here within 5 to 8 jumps. But then, the north is all the way up here. The thing is, though, is living out of any of these systems becomes more dangerous because you can actually be kicked out of them, which is an interesting aspect of faction warfare, is that if you are living out in the middle of the war zone and you want to be in the middle of the action, you actually do have to risk. And like Hallinan right now would be a good spot to put like a beachhead of stuff for us, and it's something I highly suggest. Hallinan and Nenemelia. Nenemelia less so as it becomes
move my shit from Nisua.
Nisua you're fine. Nisua, but you could move it over to Hallinan would be, so a call out to everybody, get your ass over to Hallinan. Kind of stock up. That's where the real fighting has been happening. So,
yeah, there definitely has been a big push over the last couple of weeks with the Warzone. It was heading up north, and now that whole middle section, it's all contested. So many systems are, 50-50 right now. So there's definitely a lot of push back and forth. Nobody's like sitting on the faction warfare. People are out there taking plexes.
I am surprised we are up to 57, and the Keldari currently sit at 33 since the implementation of faction warfare frontline systems. And I think that is definitely one of the best. I think one of the things that I've noticed over the years is that I don't see, as much as people call out bots and stuff like that, I see multi-boxers a little bit. More than I've ever seen before in faction warfare. But I'm not really against that. That it's an interesting aspect of Eve is to be a multi-boxer, and faction warfare is probably a really good way to learn how to be a multi-boxer with very cheap ships, comparatively to most other aspects of this game where you have to like upgrade. So if you're a new player and you grab 3 accounts, you can go out and start doing some major faction warfare with 3 algos and be pretty well off by being able to do some PvP, but you'd be able to make assloads of money. Because the thing is though, I don't see bots are not something that I feel like are really dominating the Warzone in any way, shape, or form these days.
Yes,
it's interesting.
It's been a long time.
Like the farmers are not as well present these days.
Yeah.
There are people who warp off, and it's possible they are bots. But the like bot-like behavior of the swarm of systems that are just constantly, before the frontline system, you could hit anywhere in the war zone. And so the war zone would shift between the entire war zone being conquered by one side to the other side conquering the, give it so that, because if every system is offensive, then every system pays out a really good amount. So you could find little hidden areas in the back. There's 100 systems to fight over. If 90 of them or more are owned by one side, you could make a lot of money in backwater systems that you can't make money in anymore. So it's all, all of the war zones is contained down to like a total of 5 systems, 6 systems, and most of those are even next to each other, like there's like 2 or 3 systems down south that really matter, and there's like 3 systems or so, 4 systems that matter in the north, but most of the northern ones are very close to each other, so.
Yeah, I remember the days of bots. They were pretty much, the heyday of bots was before the main faction warfare changes that changed the plexes. Back when you could, when they were called scouts, and you could fit, in a small, you could fit the assault frigs and stuff.
Oh yeah, the assault frigs too, and a worm would fit.
And a worm. The worm was the dominant, but like that was back in my the nuts the nutsack. When I was using the vengeance to hunt mostly coercer bots. Yeah.
So, other than that, though, we wanted to also take a look at the kill board and the community beats. Samson, do you want to bring up the community beats? Because there are some cool things that just got released. That I highly suggest it to check out here. If not, I can.
No, I got it. Share screen. Does that work? That's not porn, right? Are we good?
Maybe. Yes, that's it right there. So let's take a look at the community beat here. So first thing on this that is super freaking cool is the Clear Skies Remastered. So if you want to play that video here.
Can you hear it?
Yes, yep, I can hear it.
Nice.
Well, there's no talking in this, but it does look
but it's got the music.
It's got beautiful music.
It's got a remix of the original theme.
So it looks like this is going to be like just a full remaster look of the game. So listeners, there's just different shots that they're kind of showing of how they've enhanced the graphics for everything. So it's not a full remake or anything like that. Just does say reimagined. See, I I'm interested to see.
Yeah, the graphics look really good. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they're using a different engine on this one. At least
Newer
in part,
engine?
anyway. Yeah. But we're talking about it at FanFest because kind of word was going around that, you know, they were working on this, and that was kind of the question I think we had, is whether it was a whole new edition, like a part 4, or just the remix. So this
So
kind of the
Remastered.
the remaster.
Yeah,
not the remix.
so I don't think that there's not, it just kind of, I think they're updating like the ships possibly, and but part 4 is almost done. Liberta mentions
Okay,
that.
so a little bit of both then, right?
Yeah, so this is
God, I hope so. Like I said, if you don't even like Eve, it's a great series to watch.
Oh
I
yeah,
thought it was a lot of fun.
It's
the stories were compelling.
And it's not
friends
like,
became enemies became friends. It was fantastic.
It's very, you don't need to know Eve lore, you don't need to understand Eve at all. You don't need to have played Eve at all in order to really watch Clear Skies. Clear Skies is very universal.
But definitely, if you are a fan of the Eve universe, it is enjoyable that way too. So really looking forward. But they didn't have a release date. That's what I was hoping they'd actually have projected dates on this. So my question is, are we going to have a new Clear Skies before you get your Eve Online board game, or?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm still waiting on my Eve Online board game, but it should be out soon.
I have heard they're in Missouri. There's the distribution center in Missouri, miniature something or other. What's it called? Miniature something. It's just outside St. Louis. I believe like the U.S. distribution center is there, and that they're sitting there, but they've been trying to clear ports and stuff. As you know, there's been a lot of tariff issues and shipment issues from things overseas. So I know that's held up a lot of stuff, but I've heard they are actually in the United States right now.
Yeah, I did see a post about that from the Kickstarter, so I'm excited to get mine and run a game as soon as it comes. But yeah, I'm being patient. It's, I understand that the world is on fire right now.
You bought all those figures
at
FanFest. It'd be nice to have a game to play with them.
Yeah, Clear Skies 3 had a crazy storyline. I like that. The like turning off gates and stuff. Like there is Pochvin that eventually did come out, but that was imagined before, I believe, Pochvin, if I remember correctly. There's also a mention of the coverage of the Battle of Hoth, and this is like insanely long. Insanely, it's like 30 minutes long. Of like a little like battle report on what's happening in Hoth, which is a wormhole system. So it looks like there's Forsaken Few. Yeah, so they kind of bring you through like this huge battle that's going on, and give you like a nice little battle report on everything. It is kind of more like a 30-minute long music video, it seems. Doesn't really have
your favorite,
explaining exactly what's going on. But apparently it's the Forsaken Feud, the last vestige of what was named the War in Heaven. The declared victors of that war, in combination with a high-class wormhole alliance, decided to finish tidying up by evicting the Forsaken Few from the system. It resulted in just under 1 trillion ISK in a single battle, as well as the second most expensive Satoya kill mail in EVE history. So that's super cool. There is a Fortizar battle that a Sedition Fortizar came underneath Assault. This is actually a pretty short one. Let's have the scope explain what happened here.
Good evening, Capsuleers. This is Alt of Haravi with the Cope. where we bring you the stories that
Cope.
shape our cluster,
Oh, this is
whether
Cope.
we understand
Cope,
them
not
or not.
Scope.
The only news outlet legally allowed to broadcast in Hymitar and Metropolis. Tonight,
Hymitar.
in our top story, the waifu wars escalate once more, where a significant military operation is expected to commence within hours. The final timer for a sedition Fortizar in the war-torn system of Seaside comes due in the USTZ tonight, and apparently, it's not insured. All indications point to a major fleet engagement in the low-security system. Intelligence from the region confirms that the Minmatar Fleet Alliance waifu is mobilizing its fleet to lead the prime assault on the Fortizar. Bear That Cares declared that Seedit would undeniably lose a 1 versus 1 at the summit, so reinforcements on their side are a must. In response, Young Puke was quoted saying, "Bear can't fight without a blob in USTZ."
Sounds about right.
Evidence that Bear can indeed fight him in that time zone. This battle marks the latest flashpoint in the wider conflict known
The buffer is real.
as the Waifu Wars, featuring the commitment of capital-class hardware and battleship fleets. The Cope will continue monitoring the situation in Seaside and will bring you the results. For now, this is Alt of Haravi, reporting for the Cope.
The Cope.
The Cope. It's like the joke news network that that is out there now. Kind of like the Onion of Eve, another new. It's not even, and I think they do report on real stuff to a certain degree, but with like a bend, kind of like.
I didn't even know about them until now, so that's cool.
I've seen it's recently in the last few months. I've seen stuff on YouTube about them.
Cool.
Yeah, they're. So there's some talk about the SOV maps here. One of the things that I did during my meetup, if you click on that Venal SOV.
Welcome to the Tales of New Eden, a cinematic journey into the chaos, beauty, and danger of New Eden. Told through the eyes of the pilots who shape its story. In this episode, we examine the life cycle of an escalation gone terribly wrong. In the dark corners of these regions, few war machines inspire awe like capital ships, towering engines of destruction, wrapped in armor thick enough to shrug off small fleets, and fitted with guns capable of cracking citadels in half. They're not built for subtlety. They're not meant for minor skirmishes. They are the final word in escalation. And on this day, they were not deployed for strategic supremacy. They were deployed for vengeance. Their mission, a barghest and a rattlesnake, blinged out, overconfident, and savagely dismantled by a lone gist seraphim. Yes, a rat. It didn't chase kill marks. It created consequences. Outraged by the destruction, the call went out. 10 dreadnoughts scrambled. No thought, no scout. Just pure vengeance. Fueled by rage, isotopes, and absolutely no cost efficiency. They thundered across the stars. A funeral procession with capital guns, headed straight for the unsuspecting rat. And they found it. But the rat was not alone. Backed by its loyal companions, it opened fire on the approaching dreadnoughts. Volley after volley. The result? A slight scuff on the armor. Maybe a dent. At most, chipped paint.
Ooh, pretty cool. Good production value.
Yeah.
capitals did not hold back. The small fleet died screaming in silence, torn apart by capital guns that never missed. There was no retreat, no resistance, only deletion. The Seraphim watched its last line of defense vanish, then followed them into oblivion moments later. A grim, unrelenting execution, delivered with surgical malice. Triumphant, the dread pilots descended on the wreck, ready to claim vengeance in loot form. Inside, a single domination armor repairer and a sprinkle of domination ammo. Total haul, 1.5 million. A majestic reward for risking over 100 billion in assets, lighting millions in fuel on fire. But none of that mattered, because in that moment, those 10 dreadnoughts weren't there for profit. They were vengeance incarnate, to incinerate the Angel Cartel. Steel-clad fury summoned not by logic, but by pride. They came to avenge, and delivered with capital-class precision. This is Warlock Industries, showcasing the reckless, the ridiculous, and the gloriously overkill, all in glorious cinematic form.
Nice.
Nice.
So that was
An
Warlock
escalation goes too
Industries,
far.
huh? Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting. So the next thing that they kind of point out, which if you haven't seen this, let's take a look at the Venel map here. Vertal. If you see
A verite.
Verite. I don't know how to word. Words don't matter to me. But take a look and dive into. So this gives you the Alliance map on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side is the Coalition map. And the I showed this map during my so go into the Alliances map here, because this kind of gives you like a breakdown of all the different alliances that exist in EVE, that own territory, where they live, and there is a time lapse of all, up to 2025 of all the different maps that were made by this site. This is super cool. This is one of the things that I think, as faction warfare people, we kind of stay out of the 0.0 politics and kind of make fun of the 0.0 politics. But I do have to say that this is, like, really one of the coolest things about EVE history is, like, the moving and the fighting and the battles and the wars between different alliances that are owning space out in 0.0, and I highly suggest checking out this map all the time and just kind of watching, and also check out the time lapse. It's kind of cool, and you can.
And if you want to understand more, listen to Empires of Eve, or read it.
Because that'll give you like the full outlay of what happened out in
how it all started.
Yep. And there's very little talk about I think that it's like a mention of faction warfare in there, because faction warfare, we don't really change anything. There is, if you look on that site though, there is at the bottom, there is the Keldari, Galente, Mimitar Amar map, which is kind of cool to kind of see as well.
But it's so tiny.
It's
comparatively.
so tiny, and it's also, it doesn't really matter because we don't get to farm and field at all. It's a forever war, and one of the things that really is a big apparent thing right now is that there's no reason to own space other than saying that you can, and kicking people out. You can remove them from a solar system. At least their main characters, and not being able to, anybody that's in faction warfare for that side can't dock in a system, and to be honest, it seems like that's enough. It's not going there's this kind of system that they have set up right here for faction warfare is not going to make headlines ever, and I don't think that faction warfare is necessarily like, if you want to make like news and stuff like that, I don't think that you don't come to faction warfare as much for that. There is some cool like,
Unless you want to get on
battles.
our news, our show.
Oh, our show, yeah, that's true. You can.
We're news.
We're news. We are news. I take that back. You can get on the news too. That's, I mean, but we're the only ones doing this. Like, that's one of the things that's kind of interesting, is that there isn't a lot being reported on in the war zones besides little skirmishes that kind of happen that do, amount to like, 100 billion-isk, 500 billion-isk. Crazy shit has gotten blown up in faction warfare for sure. But in general, anchoring stations in FW space changed that, says Liberta. I would say that there's a lot less anchoring of stations because of snuffed out and the like that'll blow up your stuff unless you pay for it. But you are right. There are possibilities of setting up stations and stuff like that. But you still can't dock in those stations if they own them. So, anyways, moving on. So yeah, check out those maps, and let's see here. What else do they have going on here? Your Capsuleer Companion. What is this?
Mm-hmm.
So there's like third-party tool out there that's called an Eve.
Yeah, it's a companion app. Phone, web, or browser.
Oh, gets okay. So this is like we used to have an official one from CCP, but it sounds like somebody made one finally where you can kind of access all the information.
This is actually
your character.
That's the source. This is the source code if you want it on GitHub. But yeah. And then, well, there was one thing I think that was kind of neat, that Nightflyer, the Lions tournament. Well, what's this?
Yep, Lions tournament is coming. So October 24th to the 26th, there will be live streams from CCP for the
month.
And then there's an art competition going on, and then the little ship that could.
The little ship that could is right here.
The Venture. I don't think we need to go through the whole thing. It's 3 minutes, but it's
defenses. Its most remarkable adaptation lies
Reykjavik's
and valuable gas deposits.
It's a friend of our show.
Its design favors quiet work. The lifeblood of empires. Mine one asteroid at a time.
Yeah, you should definitely check it out, though.
All right, let's jump over to the kill board, though, and give just a little review as to what the Galente have been up to, who's been up to what, and I did see that they do have some pretty beautiful kills, but the ones that I kind of looked at looked like there was a lot of, this was 0.0 non-related.
Is that what all this shit is?
Yeah, it's pretty. I don't think any of this has anything to do with faction warfare, which is something that it makes it a little harder to report on some things, using a kill board for the Galente now that there's enlistment, because the kills can be coming from anywhere. But I think that one of the things I love about the Galente, though, is every time that we kind of look at the Galente board, it's filled with Galente. Like Galente, I notice, I know that they're out there. I recognize the corpse and names of people. So starting off, active, I'm just going to go to kills here instead of kills and losses, because there's 396 players that, have killed somebody. 396 characters. I take that back. Not players. Probably about maybe 160 characters, give or take, or players. But 396 characters that have gotten on a kill mail, 142 different corporations, 44 alliances, 203 ships, 224 different solar systems that there has been engagements in. There's 51 regions that these people have been engagement in, and they've gotten a total of 2,770 kills. So this is everybody that's enlisted with the Galente. There is also a little bit of Galente police action and turrets that can kind of get involved in some of this stuff. That can sway the numbers as well. But you can kind of see just based off of who really get kills. This is our top killer is Heinrich Hertz at 102 kills. At second place we have Tuxedo Mask at 80 kills. Aseri is at 79 kills for third place. Culture at 79 kills as well. Josh HDV 5 at 75 kills. Neptune Taurus at 74 kills. Sam Toddlin.
Neptune. Nice.
Neptune. Yeah, Neptune's been kicking ass. 72 kills. Alex Conrad at 69 kills. Tim Amberl at 66 kills. And
I can't pronounce that, so you're
Yes.
lucky if you can.
Val Will Eric
Teque VOR. See, I don't fucking know.
65
The fuck is that, dude?
kills.
Probably a different language.
Gwen, you want to take us through the top corporations?
The top corporations we have in first the Frog Pond 434 in first place, Battletoad Brigade second with 342, Genstar Reloaded 219 in third place, Fleet Pizza Delivery coming in fourth with 188 kills, Federal Defense Union with 154, the Death Metal Frogs 137, Horngry 126. That's half of that, I think, is Neptune. More than half because she had like 75 kills. Dawn's Light G 120, Void Covenant 99, and Frog Team 4 coming in and 10th place with 70 kills.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that board, all those top corporations, those are people who are doing shit in faction war. Like,
Hi. Yes.
No. Yes.
So, Nightfly, you want to take us through the top alliances?
Top alliance is Ribbit Dot, 747 kills. Of Essence, 245 kills. Quaif Liberation Front, 126. The Initiative Dot, 114, with one ahead of Shadow Cartel at 113. Pandemic Horde with 84. Dead Pixel Inc. with 49. Federation Peacekeepers with 47. And Test Alliance, please ignore, 42. And rounding up the top 10 is the Silent Syndicate with 41.
Interesting. I know the top, and I'm interested that, Pandemic Horde seems to have been making some kills with us. I know Shadow Cartel is mostly, that's, and I see them on all the time doing stuff for the whole of Galente is the Noir. And Test Alliance, though, that's interesting. I didn't know that they had some fighters. I'm wondering, that's probably, for the most part, just like, I don't really see them running around with us in fleets, so I'm guessing that's somebody who's just picking up some stuff on the side and staying in faction warfare while they do 0.0 stuff. But yeah, so the top ships that we have here are the Federation Destroyer, which are, so these are NPCs that do get on a lot of kills.
First two, yeah.
They don't usually have any finishing blows. It's usually a player that's involved in this, and usually it's pretty, there's probably some here. But the main one is, of course, the Executor Navy issue, still number one at 254 kills. We got the Federation Navy Comet at 238 kills. Omen Navy issue at 209 kills. Catalyst Navy issue at 127 kills. And so that's all that we get, really. Like, it does look like there are, Galente Century Guns got on 99 kills. Capsules, a lot of death here that's happening. That's interesting. I feel like we are, even though there's a big push by the Galente right now, I think we are, kind of going down a little bit for sure.
Yeah.
On just activity.
Much snow. I mean, yeah, we talked about it too. It's like the summer, the summer drought is kind of real. I know I haven't been as active on the last couple of weeks as I normally am during normal play times. Even this week, I've been out in like 2 fleets. That's it. So I don't even know if I'm on a kill, to tell you the truth.
Now, the one thing is I will say is that all of our top systems are in low sec. So that is kind of cool. Where Animalia is number 1, Tama at number 2, Eneluri, Akamon, Vivalier, Hysteria, Mercury. I don't know where that is either. Akadagi,
Mercomizer.
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 Asakai and Richard. So those, if you're looking for fights, you're looking in Animalia, you're looking in Tama, you're looking in Eneluri, you're looking in Akamon, Asakai, Hysteria. These are the places that you got to, this is where the front lines are. And so that's why I do think that the map is super cool because of that. So other than that, is there anything else that we wanted to talk about before we wrap things up?
I just wanted to go back to the financial report that kind of came out. Now, neither one of us or any of us are really finance business people. Oz does a pretty good breakdown of this, but the news is with the fourth quarter CCP for the fourth quarter, or for this quarter of 2025, it's their best quarter for profit since 2016. So going back to the, hey, this Eve's dying.
Well, it's always dying.
Yeah, but this is their most profitable quarter in 9 years. So they're up
definitely
12% profits since the same time last year. So 12%. That's pretty good.
I mean, it's practically dead.
It's practically dead. Yeah. So I would take a 12% gain in my personal finances.
Yeah.
But to compared to the parent company Pearl Abyss, whose overall profit in the same time period, they're down 2.7%. So not a huge loss since they're still up overall historically, but definitely down for the year. But just kind of going back to the talk we had several weeks ago when the rumors came up that they're for sale, and we were like, well, yeah, everything's always for sale for the most part. You offer somebody enough money. But Pearl Abyss's other IPs aren't doing so great. They have another game coming out, which is Crimson Desert, kind of like another part of the Black Desert thing. I don't know it all. I don't really play it, but they keep pushing back that release date, and now they got to contest with what's coming out in May. The next big release is Grand Theft Auto comes out in May, right?
Yeah,
so you don't want to release your game. You might be like releasing your album the same day Sgt. Pepper's comes out. You're screwed. So that's a Monkeys reference for anybody who didn't pick that up. So
you're an old man.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I wasn't alive then either, so I'm not that old. But just saying that Pearl Abyss is looking ahead, and they're going to have some financial issues. And we said this game has been consistent in its 21 years. To still be a profitable video game after 21 years is pretty fascinating in and of itself.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Considering it's more of a social game than anything else, that we shoot people together more than alone.
Yeah. All right, and then also I just want to do a little drop here about Eve Guru. Definitely check them on out. We'll run a little ad here at the end and let you guys check that on out. It's great for if you're trying to figure out how to do some high secking or even low secking 0.0 marketing strategy type kind of stuff. Yeah, check them on out. I'll play their little video here, and we'll be right back.
Eve is hard. Everyone is out for themselves. You try mining, manufacturing, trading, but with little to moderate success. No one wants to give up their secrets. No one wants you to win. But that won't stop you. You just need the right partner. Someone to give you the right answer every minute of every day. A tool developed by Eve University professors for the community. A tool that generates overwhelming value. A community that helps each other. Let me ask you a question. Do you want to be a trillionaire?
I am going to.
Samson just had to jump off. We're back now, so but Samson just had to jump off, and we're gonna wrap this on up. So thank you all for watching, and have a great night.
Have a great night, everybody, and don't forget Eve Madison next weekend. Not a week from 2 weeks.
Not
from
Madison.
Yeah, 29th, 28th, Michigan. Bay City, Michigan. The 29th.
Yep.
Be there or be square.
All right. Have a good one.